Hey YouTube. I don't know why I always say that. It sounds so dumb. Hey YouTube, what's up YouTube? How you doing, YouTube? Long time no see, YouTube. Anyway, I'll just cut to the meat of this. Um, Maybe you can't see that well. I'm gonna try to change my view up. Second. So, latest and greatest, and I'll put this in the description and everything else, but I made a new package. So, most of the time when you go to Claude, well, actually, let me start at the beginning. So if I go to, and hopefully you can see this pretty well, MCP Anthropic. So if I go to look at like what's going on with the Model Context Protocol, which is the new series of basically hooking up Claude to tools. A lot of people are calling it an agent, but I wouldn't consider this an agent. I would say it's like basically like LangChain, but like LangChain through Claude versus like running it in Python. Anyway, so these MCP servers give the large language model the ability to add tools to itself. Since you have a file system tool, a GitHub tool, zoom in more, Google Drive tool, Git, Postgres. But there's something interesting about it. If you check out file system, for example, you'll see what it can do. It can read and write files. It can create and list directories. It can move files in directories, search files, get files. But something that's very obvious if you're looking at these features, it can't delete files. So it can create files, it can move files, but it can't delete files. So a few times I've ran into this situation where Claude's working, it wants to delete a file, or I would want it to clean up a file, and what it'll do is it'll just delete the contents of the file. So you just have an empty file, and it's pretty dumb. So it can read a file, it can write a file, create a file, search files, that kind of stuff. Actually, it doesn't even have delete directory on this one, but I trust that it has it, even though it says create list delete directories. I don't know where exactly delete directory is. I don't see it. Anyway, so one thing I noticed that you cannot delete files, which seems to be a huge oversight. And not only that, but that's just the file system. If you look at even other servers, MCPs, like for instance Git, or I won't look at Git. Git's one, actually. I'll just look at it real quick. Git or GitHub, which is the major one. Git, you can see the status, commit, add, reset, so you can unstage stuff, but you can't delete things. Again, for GitHub, which is everybody's using. I've seen like videos of this. Other YouTube creators are like, "This is amazing. Git is so easy now." Well, a lot of times in Git, you'd like to remove things, right? You'd like to delete a file. Instead, here it only allows you to create or update a file, push files, search repos, create repos. You can't delete a file. You can't delete a repo. So anyway, because this is a problem, I decided to go ahead and create my own custom MCP, which they give you like an idea at the bottom to do it, but I've not seen a single YouTube video where people make their own custom MCP to do something useful. So that's what I did. I went ahead and let me go back to my Claude. I created my own tool and I call it the Terminator. So essentially, like I'll scroll down to show you the tools. I have terminate local file. Permanently terminate a file from the local file system with optional get removal. So if you want to, if you're working on a file that's already in a repo, you can give it your personal access token for GitHub and remove it from both the remote repo and your local one in the same batch. And there's also terminate remote file, which if it's just on the remote repo and you want to get rid of it, then remove it. So that's basically what I'm doing here. I made a fake repo called Terminator Test like a few hours ago. And this was all done with Claude. So let me go back into Claude actually. So inside Claude, create a repo for me with a bunch of like Terminator related stuff. So create a repo, made the fun README, the README funny, Skynet defense system, active subroutines, Cyberdyne systems, T800, never let the system become self-aware, keep away from neural net processors, avoid teaching it human emotions, priority alpha, terminate rogue servers, priority beta, maintain system integrity, priority gamma, protect John Con. I don't know. This is whatever. Kind of funny that they make the README, but it's nice. It's got little icons and everything. Anyway, did a good job. So I created the README. Then I told it just make like a simple text file. Just call it like johnconnor.txt and put some stuff in it. So I created the file, pushed the file to GitHub. Great. Now I said, let's terminate John Connor from a file perspective. I want to remove this file. I'll help you terminate it from the repo using get removal. It tried, got an error. Tried again, got an error. Tried to use creator update file. Removing John Connor. File as per the error. Just, like, it can't delete it. But then it tried to give it just empty contents. So I've replaced the file contents with an empty string, but a lot of times you don't want just a bunch of files with empty strings. You want the file to be deleted. So then I added the tool to terminate the remote file. And this is just the instance of the remote file. I can show it, but I also tested the local file termination. So anyway, I said, okay, now you have the ability to terminate remote files. Go ahead and terminate johnconnor.txt. Let's see, we've got the terminate remote file function available. Let's use that. And then it went ahead and went to the repo. I'm the owner, and hasta la vista, johnconnor.txt. And then they removed it. So it's cool that it, like, when it does work, it always leaves a little termination message with just some stupid, like, list of Terminator strings, but kind of cute. And then the file has been terminated. And so this was the repo as it stood like 5 hours ago, but I've already committed. So now if I refresh, there it is. Boom. Hasta la vista, John Connor. And then that was already changed in the repo. So there it is. Just a simple example of how you can add your own custom MCP. And in this case, custom MCP to delete files. So you want to delete local files. You want to delete files in your repo, then please go ahead. Feel free to use my, I'll put it in the description, but it's essentially patruf and terminator-test. So it's not an official Anthropic MCP, but if you want to delete files, which seems like a huge, huge oversight or a thing that you'd want to do, but I could understand why they didn't want to put it in, because maybe people are going to be deleting files and then get mad at Anthropic and be like, oh, Claude deleted my stuff. But I don't care. Use my library at your own discretion, but hopefully this helps some people out. I'm definitely going to be using it. It's definitely in my bag of tools, but the other cool thing is it's nice that you can just add whatever tools. So like now, if I'm in Claude and I need to delete something, I can just tell it, hey, go through my directory, find things out, delete stuff. So before you couldn't delete anything. So anyway, enjoy the Terminator server. Like I said, I'll share my config and the npm install in the description. So hope you enjoy this, and I don't know. I might do more of these, but we'll see. I don't know how many tools I need to hook up to this thing, but so far so good. And anyway, hope this was worthwhile. Bye.